Hello, hello, hello. So happy to have you with us. Thanks for watching, listening, subscribing. This one. So I just wanted to come on and talk about something that happened recently. Madison, aka Maddie, and Peter breaking up. Obviously, this happened last week. It happened 2 days after the finale ended. So it happened on the 12th, and then I guess we all found out about it like on Friday. But I'm going to put in what they describe as after honest conversations, they decided to split. So they said they had mutual conversations about it, and this was a mutual decision. Peter also came out and said that his mother, Barbara, had nothing to do with the split. However, how many of you all think that's really true? Um, again, I'm doing this because it's fun. This is something I like to watch. So this is all lighthearted. But in all seriousness, how many of you really think that his mother had nothing to do with his decision? I'm not sure to what degree his mother's disdain for Madison had to do with them breaking up, but it could not have helped that he was still living at home and may have had to potentially deal with, who knows? I'm just throwing out some theories, silent treatment, or just an overall sense that she was not pleased with him because of his choice to date Maddie. And he is an adult, yes. He has a choice to move out or stay home. That's his choice. But him living at home and being so closely knitted together with his family and not having broken away yet, but yet wanting to start his own, life with his future wife and family that they will have after, I feel as though there is definitely a high potential that his mother subconsciously influenced his feelings and decisions to break up with Madison. I also think they had a lot of things that were different but complementary. I mean, she had much stronger faith than him, apparently, in terms of like her practice. But he was willing to explore that and open up about that. Another difference was, I guess maybe she was more of a homebody, but he liked to go out more. Now, one thing that the mom said that I it seemed to not really fit. And she was like, I don't want you to change him. It almost seemed someone had mentioned to me that she was living through her son. Maybe she didn't get a chance to really enjoy her 20s. And so her son going out to clubs and that sort of thing, that was something that she enjoyed, listening to his stories when he got home, late, and she was up making tea and they sat at the kitchen table and she was able to hear about his escapades because maybe she didn't experience that for herself in her 20s. Who knows? So I almost feel like there was a resistance to change happening and a fear that even though they knew things were not going to be the same, that things were going to be the same. Just stay with me here, and I'm trying to make this point. And I just feel that she was trying to correlate him changing his habits and his maybe weekly social events to her changing him in terms of his character. And I think those are two different things. Well, they are two different things. When you are stepping into a commitment and a relationship, it's almost natural that there are certain things relating to your habits, in terms of how you do things or how you operated and how you moved in the world. As a single person, it will change when you find that special someone when you start dating exclusively, when you start dating in general, when you marry someone. And so I think there that separation is something I'm sure she knows, but the way she communicated it was as if she was saying, Maddie, if you hinder my son from going out to the clubs every week with his friends, you are changing him. That is not him changing. That is not change the essence of who he is. That is him adapting his lifestyle to fit in this newly formed relationship, and his relationship with Maddie will take up a chunk of his time. And that's only natural when you're starting to develop and get to know someone. So I think there was a bit of resistance and even potential fear that there's just going to be this whole upside down change to Peter's lifestyle. And that was a threat to the mother, Barb. Also, Maddie had a strong will. She said this, and she had a strong opinion about things, and she just wasn't going to be a pushover and let Barb dictate to her how she experienced and showed up in the relationship. She's still an independent woman, and she still has a strong head on her shoulders. So just that in and of itself showed Barbara that, or Mrs. Weber, that this girl is just not going to come in and be just that, a girl. She's a woman. She has her own opinions, and she's just not, it's not going to be whatever goes and let anything happen. And I think basically be a pushover. And I think that she saw less of that strength in Hannah Ann when they first interacted. Because, and I'm not saying Hannah Ann is not strong. We'll get into that when I do another review on the season finale. But when she met with the mom, she was like, the mom was like, hey, basically laying down how she expected the girl to show up in the relationship. She said, hey, I need someone who's going to basically, she literally said, step in and basically fill in this role as the girlfriend, know her place pretty much. Like she already had a place in mind, and she just wanted the girl to fill it in. And Hannah Ann was happy to do that. Madison, on the other hand, was like, no, I don't necessarily fit into this cutout that you already preordained for me. And actually mine is a little bit less smooth around the edges right here. And this is not going to fit into this perfect puzzle piece that you have cut out for me to fit into your family. And this is going to be Peter and I's relationship, not me and Peter and the family's relationship. And I think that was something that we could see when Maddie had her conversation with the mom, and the mom was like, oh, this, that, and the other. And Maddie was like, yeah, but it's also about me too. Like, and that's the thing I'm noticing in Mrs. Weber's family. There is definitely a catering to the son, and there's only men in the family, so she's the only woman. So this is another change. There's going to be another woman in Peter's life. Right now, the mom is the most important woman in Peter's life. So Peter having a potential fiance at the end of this whole scenario was something that she had to catch up to. Like, wow, I'm not going to be the most important person in Peter's life. And not only am I not going to be the most important person, but there's a strong woman that he's going to be attaching himself to. And I don't like that. I rather a Hannah Ann who's a little, they were actually the same age, but she just seemed a little bit more like, okay, I'm okay, that's fine, just go along to get along sort of personality, more easygoing than Madison. And I think that's what she couldn't really catch on to. And then there goes the thing when she said, she's not for you. She's not there for you, bud. And the reason why she said that is because Madison acknowledged herself.
She's not there for
You know, she was like, I'm here too. It's a relationship for me too. But the mom just wanted someone to be all in for Peter. You know, this makes me wonder if she still does Peter's laundry. Like, I really still wonder if she still does Peter's laundry and things like that. Because, I mean, that's just the vibe I'm getting here. At the end of the day, I'm happy that Madison and Peter decided to go their separate ways. Obviously, I would have loved to report on a happy ending of this season of The Bachelor, season 24, but I just knew very early on with Peter's inappropriate relationship and lax boundaries with Hannah B, whom she already had a chance with him. He had a chance with her, and it didn't work out. And when he allowed her to come around those other ladies when he was trying to move on, that level of overlap was just highly inappropriate. You can check out my video on that. Is Peter really over Hannah? And there, you know, I analyzed just the body language and just the inappropriate connection between the two that had not been severed. In addition to that, a week before Peter broke up with Hannah Ann, his fiance, he did inquire of her to go and speak to Hannah B again. Now, in the podcast site, I saw a little bit of, it was not clear to me if she gave him the okay. She didn't really say whether she did or didn't. But the fact that he actually inquired of her to do that just showed me that he wasn't really over her. The other thing that was really interesting is that just as the mother did bring up, there was a huge correlation with how Hannah did not choose Peter, and now he's in the same situation. I thought that was really weird. And it's very telling that Peter found himself in the same situation where his family is warning him. And if you look at my last video, season finale 1, I talk about that. It's the same thing. So Peter did choose Hannah Ann in the end, but it did not last. He still had unresolved feelings in his heart for Maddie. He still had unresolved feelings in his heart for Hannah B, and whomever else there may have been. I mean, Kelly was in the audience after the final rose. He may still have unresolved feelings for her. Throw Alea in there as well. I mean, the bottom line is that Peter needs to get his mind right. He needs to get his emotions right, and then and only then will he truly be able to give his heart to someone. And I hope that he's able to at some point. But my sympathy will always lie with the woman.
But unfortunately, she went and she picked the wrong person. And now you have a perfect girl right in front of you. And you're going to risk that?
But here's the thing. Not only is he going to risk that, he's been risking his other relationships for the sake of certain women. He risked all of his other relationships for bringing Hannah B. Brown on his season of The Bachelor. He risked his other relationships when he decided to bring Alea back on. He risked his other relationships when he constantly decided to believe certain people over certain women over other women's opinions. Sydney's opinion, he believed. Kelsey's I'm sorry, Victoria P's opinion, he believed at one point, to the detriment of some of his other relationships. The little birdie that, came out of nowhere saying Victoria F's a very bad person. He chose to believe her. So it was a consistent choosing to believe certain people's opinions to the detriment of his relationships with one of the girls or all of the other girls in the house. And now he chose to put his the ultimate relationship of his fiancées, because that is a decision to marry. He put that at risk to go follow a pipe dream of closure.
Bring her home to us. We will welcome her with open arms. We will welcome her with all the love in the world. All the love in the world. She's a dream come true, and God has placed her there for you. That's what love stories are made out of. Someone that is so madly in love with you.
You gotta stop doing this.
You
gotta stop doing this.
I'm crying.
No, but you gotta stop doing this right now. You don't know how bad this is. So you gotta stop doing this.
I can't stop.
No, but you gotta stop. Like, it's literally destroying me right now and pushing me so you have no idea.
Peter, I don't want to do that, but I have emotions.
Okay, but you can't be doing, like, come on. This is insane right now. Please don't do that to me.
I trust you. I trust you. I trust you with all of my heart. Because I love you with all of my heart. I love you so much. Oh, I love you so much.
I don't have their support with Madison. It sucks. It really sucks. I tried, and maybe I didn't do a good enough job, but I tried to explain to them why she meant so much to me. Why I am in love with her. They see other things.